Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather with the Mosco, and today I wanted to show you how I build trellises or tomato cages or whatever it may be out of sticks. I originally did this in my raised bed vegetable garden because I bought a bunch more tomato plants and I had already bought all my tomato cages, and tomato cages of any quality aren't cheap. I mean, you can get the little metal ones, the rinky-dink ones, and they don't do anything, but anything that's going to be sturdy enough to hold a tomato isn't cheap. Also, I live in a log cabin. I live in East Tennessee, garden in Zone 7, and quite frankly, it just looks really whimsical and matches my wooded area and whatnot to have things made out of limbs and trees and sticks, and it's free. So, like free's good. So I want to show you how to do this. I have a whole plethora of sticks and branches behind me. I look for things that are relatively tall. I have a whole area of woods that always has suckers growing or tree limbs that need to be pruned off things so that other plants can get sun, or there's a tree that's dead and it's fallen, and I'll tell Jace, hey, just save me, a bunch of branches, and I'll come cut those up. So there's all kinds of ways that I acquire said sticks, and if you don't have access to all of that, maybe you have a friend that needs something pruned, maybe you need to prune one of your trees, maybe you can go forage for something on the ground. But free sticks, I have them readily available, hopefully you do too. So basically what we're gonna do is cut all of the foliage off of them, form a TP pattern, tie it together. Usually I use twine, but I'm getting really low on twine, so I may have to change to the bright pink string, which I usually would not use because it doesn't exactly go with the aesthetic, especially if I was gonna do this as a project that was gonna be something closer to the house, or like a trellis for a plant that was, but this is gonna go in the vegetable garden. We together planted our fall crops, and part of that was sugar snap peas, and for the sugar snap peas, we're gonna create some trellises. So basically, the first thing I need to do is take my sticks and get rid of the foliage. So I'll just take my shears and come through and cut all these pieces. Save these pieces, anything that's sizable, because it can be used for crossbars. So let's do that first. Find my pruners. No, I might have to lop her off. As I was walking around the yard, any sticks that I thought that were on the ground that might make good cross pieces, I just went ahead and gathered those as well. I find that when you're doing this, you run out of the cross pieces first. So, I mean, you can count for each trellis or whatever you're making, you need 3 strong big stems. And depending on what size you need to make these two, will depend on how far up this needs to go. And depending on, like, if you're making a tomato trellis, then you need sturdier, thicker branches. Peas are gonna grow on this. If I was making this as for like a plant, like a flowering plant, these are perfectly fine. They're not going to pull on it that much or produce a whole lot of weight, so it's good. Alrighty, so we've got all that part done. So now we're going to grab 3 of our tall branches and make a teepee form, and then tie it together with some string. I would highly recommend that you cut lengths of your string in advance. If you're trying to cut it while you're holding it together, it ain't gonna go well. And I know how far apart I planted my stuff, so that's how I know like how big my triangle needs to be spread out. And I'm not making it any higher than this because I don't want to harvest any higher than this. Alrighty. So now that we've got that one added on, I'm going to pan down just a little bit. Got it all lashed together, I'm just going to cut off the excess at the top. Ooh, that almost hit the camera. So now there we have it. Absolutely free, whimsical bean trellis out of sticks. So let's go put it in the garden. So here's where we planted our beans earlier. And I marked with rocks where our two things of beans are. So we're just going to go over here and place this over it. We're going to try to push into the ground a little bit. There we go. Haha. So there she is. Bean trellis out of sticks. It'll be perfect for the beans to climb up. If they need help along the way because those two rungs are a little far apart, we can come out here and help it. But we need to make one more for this set of beans right here, but I think it looks really good there. What's planted right here is zinnias, so it'll be a nice big thing of zinnias, and then the tall, all these tall elements towards the back, because I do like to add some visual interest to my vegetable garden where we can. But in any case, free. Would have been better without the pink string, but free. Looks great. So guys, that is going to be it for me in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go inside and probably shower off because I am tired of being sweaty and look up seeds. Just saying. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.